The mud flaps came in. I got some spanner wrenches. So right now I'm in the middle of taking off the wheels to put on the mud flaps and adjust the coilovers. Now, I learned that there's a beautiful, thank you Mitsubishi, for putting a jacking spot right there. There's a brace that comes out, you can jack it right up onto, which is super convenient. The other ones are just the little pinch welds under there, and there's also one on the rear diff, I think. Don't quote me on that. I will look it up whenever I go to jack up the back end of it, which will be later in the video, but we got 3 of these lug nuts off. Whoever put these on here torqued them to freaking crap and back because I couldn't get them off. Well, I did, but it was very hard. Anyway, let's continue taking this wheel off. All right, well guys, the wheel is now off to show me that this car actually has spacers. And without this little bit, I promise you it would not clear this caliper, because there's less than this amount of space between that wheel and the caliper, which is crazy. But anyway, that's the wrong holes, is it? There we go. But anyway, let's adjust these coilovers and get this show on the road. I need to also figure out a way to attach this as well. That way it stops hitting the tire and whatnot. Well, guys, I've goofed already. So I should have measured the distance between the tire and the wheel arch here before I took it off the ground and took the wheel off. I didn't. So I gotta like kind of guesstimate how high that actually was. It wasn't super high. I'm gonna probably have to look at pictures, and hopefully I can adjust this ride height to where I want it. We'll see how that goes. If not, I can just do it over again. It's not an incredibly big of a deal. I just won't torque them down until I know it's right. That way I don't have to untorque them because it's a pain. But if you want to talk about fitment, this is the whole reason why I'm adjusting these coilovers, by the way, is because this rubs whenever I hit big old bumps on interstate, as you guys have heard. Look at that. It's not scraping. It is not touching at all, which is incredible. But you can see right here where it's actually rubbed. You can also see up there on the fender where it's rubbed as well. But yeah, that's not touching. But that's the entire reason why I'm actually adjusting the coilovers. So let's get a measuring stick. What I want is I want 1 centimeter of ride height between the fender and the tire. That's what I want, is 1 centimeter. I don't, unless the centimeter is too small. I don't know what a centimeter looks like yet, because I'm from the United States of America. We use inches, unfortunately. But yeah, I want to see 1 centimeter and see how big that is. Then we'll go from there. All right, if this wasn't my daily and I had stiff enough suspension and the roads around here weren't garbage, I would definitely do 1 centimeter. But 1 centimeter is pretty small. So what we're going to do is 1 inch. Inch seems better to me. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to measure the gap between the top of the tire and the fender, then measure the gap in these threads right here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna guesstimate this height and guesstimate that. So hopefully it works. I hope. You know what, honestly? I'm gonna throw the wheel back on, put the lug nuts back on, let it back down, see what the ride height is, jack it back up, take it back off. I'm not gonna torque them down, I'm just gonna literally get it so the wheel won't be wobbly or come off or anything. Stand by, let's fix this. All right, the wheel's mostly back on. It's not wobbly or anything, so don't worry about that, but it's time to measure now the distance. Let's see how many centimeters it actually is. Let's see, where's the top of the tire? It's about right there. I'm not gonna be able to measure the top of the tire. I'm gonna have to measure this edge right here. It's 3.5 centimeters off, or how many inches? 1.5 inches. So I want to lower that to 1 inch, so I want it to be about that close. Yeah, it's about 1.5 inches off. All right, guys, so I just measured this. Make sure it was even with the spring here, and I went down to the inch since I wasn't able to go to 0. It looks like it's about 3 3/4, so I need to go to about 3 1/4 in order to lower it about 1/2 inch, which is where I need it to be. So let's go get those spanner wrenches. Hope they work, because they're universal spanner wrenches from Jegs. Which I'll do a little mini review on them if you guys want to pick them up. All right, well guys, these are the spanner wrenches in question. Now, I've had to make some modifications for the Raceland coilovers. I had to take those two, one of those little things out. I had to raise those out so it doesn't slip off. Now I'm gonna try to loosen that up. Basically, I just got to turn these in the opposite direction of each other to loosen that up to adjust the preload. It's pretty difficult. Not gonna lie, it's probably because of all this dirt and crap and all the threads, but hopefully we can get it. All right, guys, well, after some dedication and the water, and my GoPro's on 1%. I got it loose. I did in fact have to use a screwdriver and a hammer to get it loose, but I'm gonna have to change my GoPro battery here. But yeah, I washed out all the crap in this. Also got that cleaned off for the Mudflaps too. I'm probably gonna have to do every single one of these. But yeah, now I can actually adjust the preload, and I'll loosen that up too so I can adjust the rod height. Cool. Well, there's definitely a lot of preload on here, but I just got it loose, so we can adjust the preload properly now. So let's tighten her up. So she doesn't want to spin anymore, up until it stops wiggling, I guess. Which should be almost there. Wiggles, 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 wiggle still a little bit. We'll do there. All right, now we're doing some wiggle. Now, you need to pull this locking collar up to where it's at, I do believe. Then once we get the locking collar up to lock against it, what we have to do is then tighten this top collar 5mm, which is roughly the width of one of these. I think these are a little thicker than normal ones, so I'll just do the width of this. But basically the width of a spanner wrench, once I get this locking collar up into here, which I have, basically tighten this another 5mm, and that's your preload. But yeah, it was definitely a little too stiff. Not a ton. I'm assuming the back's probably bad, but this wasn't too bad. Nice. Okay, so I finally got this coilovers adjusted. Now it's time for these Rock Blocks Mudflaps, so we'll see how they do. Got all the hardware and everything, so sweet. Hopefully I don't run out of daylight. It's gonna be sunset here in about a half an hour or an hour or so, yeah. All right, first off, these are legit. They're very durable. They come with these incredible instructions. They come with like very, very detailed like hardware packet thing. They also came with Smarties, so that's cool. I'm excited. Like, this is great. This is gonna be the easiest part of today. I honestly might only get the front done, so I'm probably gonna have to drive the 944 tomorrow. So yeah, but anyway, I'm excited to throw these things on. This is pretty awesome. It even says Evo 89 front. Those are nice, real nice. Well guys, so far this is super easy. Basically just take these 3 fasteners out, so you can pry this back and see that metal piece right there. You'll actually slide these metal clips over top of that so that these screws have something to thread into. You'll replace this over top of where, like, this will go here. I'll just do it real quick. So from what I understand, this goes behind here like this. Yeah, like that. And then that goes like that. And then you basically screw these with the washers into there and hold that's super, and basically you just hold this thing like that, and that's super freaking easy. Okay, I was a little worried about these. I'm not worried about these anymore. So Rock Blocks is freaking awesome. Highly recommend so far. These, I mean, they're super adorable too. I'm hyped. This is exciting. Woo! Okay, that was a super easy, very, very easy installation. I'm not sponsored, by the way, either. I'm saying this straight from my heart here. And those look pretty good. Oh, I'm excited to not have this mud just all over the place anymore. And, you know, grit and stuff from the road not getting splashed up. I was scared that those weren't going to look good. Oh, I'm so happy. And I got the red to match the Brembos. You can get whatever color you want. You can get like blue. You can change the color of the actual hard plastic itself and the color of the logo too. I went with black to kind of match the road and everything, to kind of blend in. I also went with the red to match the Brembo brakes. That is super freaking easy. Like, that's incredibly easy. I'm super excited about these. All right. Now that this wheel is finally done, like 2 hours later, I'm going to try to do the other front wheel. Probably won't get done, so this is probably going to have to be saved for tomorrow for the rear. But I'm super excited to get these the rest of the way on. Oh, guys, I'm so happy. All right, guys, so I got the wheel back on with the mud flaps on. Actually doesn't quite cover the entire width of the wheel. Anyway, with the coilovers now adjusted, let's lower it and see if I got the ride height I want. I really hope I do, because that's the biggest pain of all of this. All right, well guys, the day is almost over and I am running into a lot of problems. So I lowered the car back down on the front wheel there. There's barely any ride height difference, if there's any at all. I don't know how that managed to happen, but effectively the front right and left and the rear right are all basically the same height from the bottom of the fender to the top of the tire. So what I'm thinking is, instead of going through all that trouble to just minutely adjust them, I'm just going to leave them, and the only one I'm going to adjust is the one that actually like is the whole reason why I'm actually adjusting these, which is that back one. Except for this back one right here has the different lug nuts, the special lug nuts here that I don't have the socket for. So I'm gonna have to get the socket somewhere, which means I'm not gonna be able to adjust these. Now, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to put the mud flaps on the rest of the way. I'm gonna try. Hopefully I can. I'm sure I probably can. I don't know about how the rear ones work, but I'm sure they're not super difficult. I'm sure I could probably get up underneath of there and do it. So yeah, that's kind of my situation right now, guys. It's kind of depressing, but this video just took a turn for... I've been out here all day in like 30 degrees, and it's getting dark now, and I'm just... Those mud flaps are definitely the highlight of the day, though. Those were freaking awesome and super easy to install. All right, welcome back, guys. It is a new day. Yesterday was just a massive catastrophe. All right, guys, so a quick little side note when you install these. I would definitely recommend one of these, a like ratcheting Phillips screwdriver. That way you can actually get in here. Now, it's always best if you turn the wheel, because I mean this won't even fit up in here. But what I've done is you can actually slide these around and adjust them. I pulled them all the way down and out. That way it protects the most. Now it's time for the rears. Now the rears, what you have to do. So in the rear, there's a Phillips here. There's also, this is kind of hard to see, the Phillips back up in here as well. So those two you have to remove. You will not use any of the factory stuff that you remove. There are long washers in that box that you will put the long screw through, and then you will put the mud flap on, and then the washer on top of it. Well guys, I've run into another problem. So this screw right here I can get out barely with pliers and then the bit. That screw back in there is kind of like seized in there. It's kind of like rusted in there. So I can't really take any of those out to put the mud flap in unless I take the wheel off. Which, if we remember from yesterday, this wheel is the one with the different lug nuts that I do not have the socket for. So, I mean, I've got the front ones on. That's a plus. They look pretty good. But, yeah, it sucks a lot. I really don't know what to do now. All right, well guys, unfortunately, this whole project of coilover adjusting and mud flap installing is going to have to be put on hold until I can get that socket for the rear lug nuts. I got the front ones on. The front ones are looking mighty fine. I do say so myself. I pulled them all the way out and down to get the most coverage for the body to protect it from all the salt and stuff. I think they look pretty good in my opinion. I was a little worried. I didn't really want to put mud flaps on the car, but I honestly kind of like it. I'm going to need to vacuum out that now because I sat in the seat to turn the wheel and stuff, and it's ugh now. But as we all know, I have a carbon fiber trunk, which flies open very fast. So that I can open my trunk and not need help doing it, I've decided to remove the torsion bars in here. I'm kind of trying to figure out how to do it now. From what I understand, you basically just have, from what I can see, basically this piece right here, back in there, that piece, has to just basically slip down and out. But it's just a pain to do from what I've read, so something like this maybe? No, I'm bending the screwdriver, wow. Huh. Well, let's figure out how to do this. Alright guys, so I watched a video on a guy doing it on a Honda Civic, which effectively these are the same for every car. Basically, just take your channel locks here, put them up onto that right there, grip down, and basically just twist. I don't know how fast this is going to come out of here, but I'm going to kind of move out of the way. Oh gosh. Oh, it's wedged on the battery box now. Oh my gosh, yep, it's gonna come flying out at me. Eep. But you don't. Jeez. All right. I don't know if you guys saw me. I wasn't looking at the camera, but that was a little bit of a fight. All right. Well, oh, that one's free. Whew. That was stressful. I think I cut myself. So be careful when you do them. There's some force behind them, obviously. Otherwise, the trunk wouldn't fly open. But yeah, that's how you do it. Take your channel locks there and grip and pry. They come right off. Cool. Hopefully this doesn't... Yeah, it doesn't fly open anymore. That's awesome. Sweet! That's exciting. All right, cool. All right, well, guys, this is the big bad boy here that was causing me the problems. Let's see. Well, I got to shut the trunk first, I guess, in order to open it back up, but... Well, that didn't sound healthy. There you go, it's shut. All right. Let's go ahead and pop her back open and see what happens. So, awesome! Oh, that's so exciting! Sweet! Ah, something went right, guys. I'm excited. I can just not have to worry about it going. Now to strategically place these. I don't think these are going to do anything. I think it's just going to launch it into my roof, but we'll find out. So that was the problem I was having with the trunk when I don't have anyone to help me open the trunk. So I decided to, take that out. So shout out to Evo8 McKenna. Go follow them on Instagram. I figured there was some type of like shock or strut or something in here that help those fly open, but I didn't see any. I didn't actually realize there were torsion bars in here because I don't know a lot about cars, as y'all know. But yeah, there's a torsion bar in there you can take out. So shout out to Evo8 McKenna for bringing that up to me, that I could do that, because I didn't know that was a thing. I'm very happy now that I don't have to worry about the trunk flying open anymore. But yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for this video, because, I mean, I can't really do anything else. I might, whenever I have another free day, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear the front wheels back off of that and, like, kind of take some time on the coilovers to get them right where I want them. I've talked to some people about adjusting coilovers that have actually done it, and they said it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort to get them just right. So I'm gonna have to have like a whole day dedicated to doing that. This has been quite a roller coaster of a video, but I figured I'd end it on a good note with that trunk. So if you guys want to see some more content on the Evo, there's gonna be some more stuff coming soon. Like I said, I've got to adjust those coilovers, and the mud flaps are going to be being put on. Hopefully I can do them myself here, and I don't have to do it in someone else's garage where I can't record. But the 944 is coming up next with that thermofan switch replacement, which is actually the second thing I did to that car. It's the second time it's gone bad. So I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Go ahead and subscribe for more content on my life, the Evo, and the 944. You guys all have an incredible day. I will see you in the next video.